Meanwhile, more friction between the U.S. and Egypt over the detention of 6 U.S. aid workers. Arizona Senator John McCain will be leading a group to Egypt to resolve the standoff. I had a chance to talk with him about this and the disturbing events unfolding in Syria. Welcome, Senator. Great to have you here today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. I'm glad to be with you.
Let me ask you this. You are planning to lead a delegation in a few days over to Egypt in an effort to end the standoff that remains over the detention over at least 6 aid workers there. Are there indications at this point that Egyptian leaders are willing to negotiate with you?
Well, first of all, we had planned on going for a long time before this particular issue became so prominent. I'm hopeful that before we get there we could have this issue resolved, but if not, obviously it'll be our highest priority. I mean, Americans not being able to leave the country that is supposed to be our ally is a very important issue. So we intend to raise it in our meetings.
What indications have you been given at this time that you may make some progress, hopefully?
I think the Egyptians are very aware how important this issue is. They are very aware of our media, the mood of Congress, and I think they are trying to find ways that we can get this issue resolved. Now, there are certain elements in Egypt that view this as a way to stoke anti-Americanism, various political agendas, but I think there are a significant element that would like to have this issue completely disappear.
How worried are you about the security of that government at this time, knowing that there are many members of the Muslim Brotherhood who are in key positions there, and that security inside Egypt is rather fragile itself?
Well, first of all, as you know, our IRI employees and NDI employees are at our embassy, so they are not in physical danger at this time, although we have some Egyptian employees and some other employees who are from other countries. But I'm not worried about their security. What I am worried about is the overall relationship between the United States and Egypt. Egypt, as you well know, is the heart and soul of the Arab world. And the Muslim Brotherhood, for a long time, were the only opposition to the Mubarak government, and so they gained great credibility. Now we are seeing fissures within the Muslim Brotherhood, some of them much more moderate than others. So what I believe is a very possible scenario is that the moderate element in Egypt joining with the other elements that are in the parliament would give us a government that is the kind that we would like to see, and I think that most Egyptians would like to see.
Moving over now to Syria, I know that you've been very outspoken on this issue, saying that the U.S. must do more to protect the Syrian protesters. What do you think can be done at this point, knowing that the White House is not inclined to send in any type of combat support?
Well, I guess I say in all respect, the White House is leading from behind again. We should be leading in front. The Turks are doing very good work, and so are some of our other, the Arab League, for example. We should be considering recognizing the Syrian national government that is although embryonic, is there. We should recognize them. We should look at ways to facilitate assistance to the Syrian opposition. That could be in the form of medical help, technical help, all kinds of ways. The Turks have declared their country as a sanctuary for any Syrian refugees. Perhaps we should have a sanctuary inside of Syria. We don't have to have American boots on the ground, but there's certainly a myriad of ways that we can be of assistance to the people that are being slaughtered. And we should, again, publicly and openly criticize Russia and China for their despicable and disgraceful behavior on this issue.
The images have been very sobering that are coming out of Syria, looking at the tragedy that's taking place there. What runs through your mind as you're watching the video coming in from the ground there?
What goes through my mind is we cannot stand by and watch people being massacred. And by the way, the Iranians now, the reports, they are in there physically, and they're providing arms and equipment to the Bashar Assad's military. It seems to me we at least could be a counterweight. Assad will go. The question is, what role will we play, and how long will this massacre continue before it happens?
Senator McCain, thank you so much for your thoughts and your insights today. All the best to you as you head over to Egypt, and we'll be keeping close watch on what transpires over there and what takes place in Syria. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me on again.